Matt, you know what I would love? I feel like I agree with you. We should host like a Bravo-esque style
Right?
Survivor reunion. I would love for you to hit up is it Andy Cohen? I'd
Yeah,
love for you to hit up Andy Cohen, have Andy Cohen organize the
literally.
real Survivor 50 reunion,
Yeah.
get everyone back who's ready to spill some tea, and
Yeah.
let's do it.
The sweet potato.
hmm
I love it. I thought I was gonna walk in here. It was gonna be some black people with the sweet potato.
Fucking Bojan. All right.
Kale. That's exactly how we would always say it in the house. It's like kale. Sweet taters.
The sweet taters.
Sweet taters.
The sweet taters.
And now it's time for the Sweet Potato Podcast featuring Matt and Theron.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Sweet Potato Podcast. I am joined by two of Survivor's greatest players, of course, our friend Sue Smey and our new friend Caroline from Survivor 47. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank
Hello. Excited to be here.
I
Yes.
am excited that you are both here. Of course, Sue's our booker at this point. I mean, Sue does more promotion than I do for the podcast. I love it.
Oh, well, you guys are, I love you guys. And, here's what I always say, like the people that reach out to me when not that I feel like I'm a nobody, but like when they reach out to me and I'm just like, oh, I want to help you as much as possible because to me, that's like you've got my heart. So anybody that reaches out to me, I'll always want to do what I can to keep helping you move forward.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Now, I want to, Sue, before we get into Survivor 50 recap, last time you were on the podcast, we were hinting at the Mr. Beast Games Season 2 reunion, and the reunion is finally out. So I want to know your thoughts. How was that? How was filming that? I mean, you had your Real Housewives moment. Like, what
Uh,
was all that about?
That was, I got the call the day before, so nobody knew. They flew me in. It was a secret. They hid me in a separate hotel, and they basically started. They said they're going to start filming, and they were going to, speak to Jack, ask him. We heard that Sue isn't speaking to you, and then Jimmy or John would say, Jack, why don't you talk to her in the camera, look into the camera and tell Sue what's going on and how you feel. And was going to start talking. And then they'd be like, better yet, why don't you say it to her face? And it was just such a fun moment all around, especially to see everyone surprised and to see like just to feel good and, have me and Jack hash it out. Even, like it was just really good. It's so much fun. Like probably something that I'll remember forever.
I mean, that was iconic. I mean, you not hugging him was iconic. I mean,
Oh, that's right.
he was your Dorit.
Yeah, yeah, let me tell you, exactly. And that's the thing is that like when you walk out there, you're walking in a like a dark room. So it was really lit up in there. And so I couldn't really see who it was until I saw who it was. And I'm like, not giving him a hug. So
No, that
but all
was
in all, we hash it out. And Jack's a good guy and
yeah.
it was, it worked out well.
See, that's what we need. We need conflict resolution, make great TV and then move on with our lives, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Caroline, I want to ask you, so since this is your first time being on the podcast, obviously we've talked to Survivor contestants before, but what is it like watching 50 after now being on the show? Like, is your perspective a lot different? Do you have a lot more respect?
100%. It was so surreal. So I was on 47, watching 48. It's just so wild because I think after being on the show, you have such an understanding of like how much depth there is to the show. Like, how hungry people are, how exhausted they are, how like your brain is just so not working. And then to see people like do so well, you just have so much more respect for the games that people play and how well they do. And like, you truly know how depleted and exhausted you are. But you also just have so much appreciation for like the nuance of the game that's behind the
Mm.
scenes and like everything that contributes to a vote out. So I really love podcasts like yours that have former Survivor players who are on able to talk about the episode because I think even though before I'd played, that's when I really started like listening to podcasts,
hmm
especially as I was preparing to go on the show. And I think having both like the person who is like hosting the podcast, their feedback with like the guest feedback from people who've been on the show, it's a great combination. And I'll be honest too, I've watched a lot of returning seasons, obviously before I played. Watching one after I played is fascinating
Mm.
because just to have an understanding of like, oh, so many of these people know each other before they played, and like how much of an impact your previous season and your relationships that you build outside of the game impact like a returning season. It is just so much more complex and rich and crazy and like truly survivor on expert mode. It's harder than I would have ever thought. So I have a lot of respect for the people who played season 50 because like that was a tough season.
Oh, it was a tough season, but also what a cast. I mean,
Oh
Yes.
like
yeah.
we had a cast of all stars on this season. I mean, it was crazy to watch, and I loved that it was a milestone season. I liked that they really went there with the twists, as much
Oh
as
yeah.
some paid off more than others. It was really fun to watch. I mean, this is my first full Survivor season other than 47. So this was my first like actively watching it as it's going on, getting into it, learning a bunch of things. And it was, I think this is a perfect season to watch, especially for people who are trying to get into the show. I mean, it's kind of the mark of a new era. You get to learn about all of the other eras, all the other seasons. So I would recommend all non-Survivor. If you've never seen Survivor, I would watch 50 and
Yeah.
47.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Obviously
yeah. Of
47.
course, 47.
Obviously 47. But let's just get into the finale. Why are we wasting any time here? What do we think about the live finale? I thought it was awesome to have it back.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. I thought it was so exciting, and I was a little bit jealous that we didn't get to experience that, right, Caroline? Like that would have been so cool to experience a live finale like that. So I'm so happy they brought it back. Don't you think?
The energy and excitement and anticipation
Mm-hmm.
of a live finale is unmatched. It is unreal. And like honestly, such an incredible experience. Like one of my favorite parts when I was watching seasons growing up is I love the live finale. I think it's such a great time. So I was blown away that like it seems like Survivor production is not the biggest fan of live finales, but I do have to tell you, Matt, this was a different live finale than any other live finale I'd ever seen.
Okay.
And that normally they ask several questions to the contestants
Mm.
after the show. Like normally we've had a true live finale where like they ask questions, people respond to their edit. Like it's normally full of a lot richer conversation. So I would
Yeah.
honestly say we were a bit deceived. It was a live vote readout. It was not a live
Mm.
finale, in my
I
opinion.
agree.
So it was kind of
Yeah.
disappointing.
I kind
I
of
agree.
wished it was I kind of wish that they revealed Aubrey won because I think what it was on from like 8 to 11 or something like that. It was like it was like
Yes.
3 hours or something like that. I wish that they revealed Aubrey winning maybe towards the middle of the episode and then had like a reunion.
Yes.
Like an Andy
Yes.
Cohen reunion would have been fun because there's so much drama. I mean, obviously Mike White wasn't there, but like I heard that Mike White's not talking to people, Ozzy's not talking to people. I want to hear, Tiffany's
Genevieve.
POV, watching the edit. I want to hear Genevieve has to say. I want to hear what Jenna has to say. I did miss some of that.
Yeah.
And
And that would have been good drama. I think
Oh, yeah.
that's what would have sparked everyone's attention by like, we want to know, like we know for us personally, Genevieve and Aubrey, it appeared butting heads, and I would have loved to hear Genevieve speak about her experience with Aubrey. And I was shocked that we
Mhm.
didn't hear anything.
I wanted to hear kind of more about that. I wanted to hear Aubrey's maybe opinion on her reception from the fans.
Yes.
Because spoiler alert, Aubrey wins, but the fans weren't necessarily on Aubrey's side. I think I can make that claim. I mean, me being one of them.
Right.
And I'm more of a Big Brother head, so like going back, like my opinion is the winner of the season isn't necessarily the winner of the season who takes the money home all the time. I think that, like, for example, Suri really won this season. She got that standing ovation. She got the award. She's beloved with the fans. And then Aubrey won the money. And I'm not saying Aubrey didn't deserve it, but Aubrey did rightfully win her season, right? But there's just people who are going to stand out a lot more from 50 than I think Aubrey will. Like, I think Tiffany was a star. I think Rizzo was a star. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Caroline.
I mean, 100%. Matt, like Sue, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the live finales, like the finale portion after they read the votes, it used to be an hour, a
Mm.
full hour,
Mhm.
and we didn't get it. This is from what I've heard through the grapevine, this is the messiest I've ever heard of like post-game drama since like 46. Like it is intense and
Mm-hmm.
crazy and wild. And part of me honestly wonders if part of the reason why they chose to have this kind of skip the Q&A part is because they didn't want to address a lot of the drama that was coming up. I think there was a lot of drama around females being under
There
edited
was.
and like a lot of stuff too behind the scenes of like pre-gaming drama and everything else. And I don't think they wanted to have that talked
You
about.
know, that's an interesting point you bring up because I always think about like the housewives, right? The housewives, there's a lot of drama within the women, but they do also call out production and the edit, and they talk about confessionals, all that. But Bravo is willing enough to air their dirty laundry out,
Right.
versus I feel like they're trying to keep their family friendly image. Now, maybe a suggestion would have been do the live finale as you will. Obviously, it's a late night, but maybe pre-tape the reunion after the live finale airs for next Wednesday.
Oh,
Right.
that's
Oh
a
yeah.
great idea.
Right? You have a
Matt,
week to edit.
yes.
Now I don't want to see Jeff as reunion host. No shade. I want to get like someone. I need a non-survivor, not biased person to come in. Because I was watching the finale, and one of the tribal councils last night, Jeff was like, "So Aubrey, like, I'm shocked that they're not voting you out. Like, you're gonna win. You should just go home at this point." And I was like, "Jeff, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
we gotta stop." But
Yeah.
Jeff was cracking me up though. Jeff was cracking me up this reunion.
Yes.
Before we get into like the actual live finale, I want to say one of my standout moments was his promotion for Applebee's this season.
Right.
It made me laugh. He's like the sizzling skillet with applewood. Like he could do that. I'd watch an infomercial. Like he could do that for the rest of his life, but whatever. So we get into the finale, and obviously we have our final five. We have Aubrey, Joe, Jonathan, Rizzo, and Tiffany. And after this tribal, we just lost Suri, which was so heartbreaking for me because I'm such a Suri like stan. But Aubrey basically says that Tiffany is being hypocritical for being upset after targeting Aubrey before. So we're really getting that storyline of Tiffany's going home unless she doesn't get this immunity win, which was really sad to see because I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of team Rizzo and Tiffany going into this finale. Sue, who
Yeah,
are
Yes.
I've
you?
been so good with
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad that we're all in agreement to this.
Rizzo won my heart. Like I don't know about you, Caroline, but like watching in the very beginning, I was watching Rizzo, and I'm thinking he's good, he's annoying, and I picture what it'd be like to be with him on the island, and I'm like, I don't know if he would drive me crazy. But the more and more I watched him, the more and more I fell in love with him, and I was so impressed by him that I really started really rooting for him and hoping that he could make it all the way because he just for a young person the way he is and how he speaks and how he played the game is just so eloquent, and I was a big fan of Rizzo.
100%. I think Rizzo did a fantastic job. And I think from what we've seen both with season 49 and 50, he does such a good job of like when he's playing, lowering his threat level. I honestly think people were going to bring him to the end because people didn't think that he'd vote for him. But like, he plays such a smart, nuanced game where honestly, there's some parallels to Suri. He moves votes in the direction he wants, but people don't clock it. And it's fascinating. And I think it'll be like, honestly, people not watching him on 49 was a gift for him because people didn't see how fantastic he is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I love that he teamed up with Suri. They were just the perfect iconic duo. And I think he played a phenomenal game. It was heartbreaking the way that he went out, but like, no, would have loved for Rizzo to make it to the end.
And the fact that he brought an idol with him again
Yep.
to the final five. Like who does that? That was insane.
And they didn't know that, which was such an advantage to him. I mean, like, think about Savannah and Rizzo had major disadvantages going in. Savannah won the game, target on her back. I mean, just the 2 weeks home, recuperating from 49, going right back into it with the way that their health might have been affected was a disadvantage. Let's talk about advantages to that. Savannah already has a winning storyline. So she can use her same tactics because these people have not watched her. Same with Rizzo. Rizzo copy pasted his game almost, and
Yeah.
I mean, he went out the same way, but still, like, I don't think was a bad strategy for him. I mean, he did as much as he could do, and it was
I
awesome.
think I think Rizzo did Rizzo. I think he was 100% who he actually is, and I don't think he changed anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
One nuance that I think is fascinating that I will be honest. I saw this as like an insight on Reddit and I was like, dang, that's so good. And I think it's so spot on. I think Rizzo actually played his idol this season better than previously. And I don't think the edit didn't show it, but one of the perks or like one of the pros that Rizzo had that he played really well is that he had a boomerang idol. It was not just a normal idol and no one knew who gave it to him. So here's the thing, they vote him out with an idol in his pocket. People are worried that it doesn't just go back into play for someone else to get. They think it could go into the pocket of someone else who's there and no one knows about it.
Ah,
So
that's true.
I think behind the scenes, he was playing up. He had no idea who gave it to him. Such a mystery. Don't vote me out with an idol in my pocket. It could screw up your entire game. You at least know I have the idol. So I think if he'd won, we would have seen that in the edit. But my guess, he played that brilliantly, like such a masterclass.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, for
So
sure.
true.
And that's the great thing about the Billie Eilish boomerang idol. There's an added layer to it. Like
Right.
the fact that he kept that a secret, I mean, it was just another just weight on everyone else's shoulders. They were so scared of what Rizzo could do,
Right.
which was awesome, like, beneficial to his game. Speaking of this final five, there was talks of the all-male final three. Now, I think we're all in agreement that we were all shitting our pants when we heard that and did not want that to happen. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
my worst nightmare.
Right. No, I was definitely rooting for Tiffany. I think I really was. I thought she played an amazing game. She's badass. She's just smart and a good player. And I definitely was rooting for Tiffany.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Unfortunately, Jonathan wins, which was, you
Yeah.
know, whatever. We get to see Tiffany go, which was very upsetting. But she looked great at that live finale, and she got
Oh.
all those fans' approval. I think Tiffany's always going to be remembered as the one, like the robbed queen of Survivor almost. Even though
Yeah.
she went out she went out fairly, but still, Tiffany played a great game. I can see her coming back for a future season better than
Oh
ever.
yeah. Oh yeah.
For
She's
sure.
a rock
Oh,
star.
they teed that up hardcore. Absolutely.
Then we cut back to live finale. We see Mike White via FaceTime. It was bringing me back to Zoom. Those Zoom days on COVID scared me a little bit. But he announces that Charlie and Camilla will cameo on White Lotus. Now,
I know.
would you
So
guys
cool.
want to go on White Lotus?
Yes.
Like,
Why
who would say
not?
no, right?
Yeah.
Who would say no to that?
Yeah. I would go in a
Absolutely.
heartbeat.
I'm surprised Jeff hasn't been on White Lotus yet. Is it too meta? Maybe it's too much for the storyline. He would
Yeah,
have
I
to play
think that
Jeff.
he'd be recognized unless they right. Like I don't know how they would.
He would
pull
have
it
to
off.
play like Jeff, filming Survivor France. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think they're set in France. But yeah, so Tiffany voted out. Very sad to see that. She does vote out Aubrey though. She stands 10 toes down, which she gets my heart for that.
Yeah.
But I will say we get to the final four immunity challenge and Aubrey wins her immunity challenge, first of the season, solidifying her win almost, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
if she didn't win that, she definitely would have been voted out. And it would have been interesting, though, to see who would have made it to final three. Or not who would have made it to final three, but who would have won the game after that. Because if, let's say Aubrey's voted out by Jonathan, Rizzo, and Joe, do you think Rizzo would have had a shot, like a real shot at the 2 million?
I would say Jonathan. I think that Jonathan played more of a vocal, like out there game, even though Rizzo is so good and maybe he could sway the jury. But I think Jonathan was sort of number two for the last five for me. I thought he was up there.
For sure. What do you think, Caroline?
I think, Sue, you just brought up such a good point there that at least to the jury, Jonathan was his moves more and more out there. It was a little bit more like clear to them the game he played. And I think they also kind of know Rizzo that like, yes, he's a good talker. We hear him at tribal councils. I don't know if they would have taken him as seriously as they should have at Final Tribal Council. So I actually think he we have the luxury of the edit. We have the luxury of his confessionals and seeing how he moves. I think it would have been hard for him to pitch. But if people had seen 40,
Uh-oh.
50, but I think what's tough is Survivor 50, it's not just a regular season. I think it was pitched so much to be like such a like encapsulation of Survivor. It explains all of Survivor. Do you really want someone who's like 23, 24 years old, was just on 49? He is like your representative of Survivor all 50 seasons. I think he
But
had
let me
that
tell you
against him.
something though.
Yeah.
Picture him being the young kid, and like what Jeff said is these 8-year-olds are sitting home wanting to be Rizzo. Imagine if he did pull it off, played back-to-back seasons, like he's the new Tony or Ozzy or whoever, Boston Rock, right? He's the new upcoming king. And so
Yeah.
it would have been incredible in a way, for him, the new guy.
I agree. For Rizzo, and I think actually the Survivor community would have loved it and had so much respect for it. The issue is you need to convince Ozzy that he needs to be okay losing to Rizzo. You need to convince everyone else on the jury, coach, all of them, that in a way Rizzo is the epitome. I think that's what's tough, even if it's better for everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, because, I don't want to discredit any of the final 5, but I will say Aubrey is the most, like, all-star, or she's one of the legends. I feel like she's the most legendary out of these 5. So in that way, I think that her representing 50 makes total sense. But I do think that, it wasn't a clean sweep. Like, I think that Jonathan and Tiffany and Rizzo gave her a run for her money. And Joe was there too. But,
Yes.
Oh God. We do come back to commercial, and I think everyone on Twitter is talking about Jeff's little flub up with Rizzo in the final fire. Now, listen, this is my opinion on this, and you guys can say yours after. But I think that this was really funny. Now, I do feel bad for Rizzo. His losing moment was maybe outshined a little bit, but maybe this was good for him, because it wasn't just, we're not going to remember him losing Final Fire. We're going to remember him always for this Jeff flub up, I think. And this was maybe the best thing that could have ever happened to him.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, that was insane. I actually rewound it because I watched it. I tape it and I rewound it to see if somehow I fast forwarded through something, because I couldn't understand Jeff saying that. And I was so confused. Did you do the same, Caroline? I was just like, what the heck just happened?
It was crazy. So I watched it live. I was watching it with my fiance, and we watched it. He brings out Rizzo, and we were like, huh, this interesting. This kind of feels like a spoiler, Jeff. Like, very interesting for you to just bring out him and not Jonathan. So yeah, the whole time we're like, this is an interesting choice, but we trust it. And then when he says for him to sit on the jury bench, we are just like, I feel like I was in like transported back to watching the Oscars, and they say La La Land won and it didn't.
Yeah.
It was just chills, wild. But I could not agree with you more, Matt. Honestly, watching that the Fire Challenge, kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
And the thing that would be burned to your head is, I can't believe Rizzo lost the same way twice. This time, I was actually left saying, dang, Rizzo did the best he could at that live finale. He handled that so well.
He did.
It's the best thing that could have happened for him, truly.
Also, I would have loved to have been there, a fly on the wall, and we're gonna have to speak to people to see what exactly was happening during that moment, right? For all the people to be there and have everyone see that this flub up just happened. I would have loved to have been there just to see how it went down.
You know what would have been cool too, now that I think about it? It would have been awesome to have as many, I would love all of them, but as many as possible, all the winners walk out on stage for a standing ovation. Would have been iconic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They had almost every single winner there, and
we didn't even see them.
No.
Did you see Rachel? Did anybody see Rachel? Oh, you did? I didn't. Why didn't I see her?
At some point, if you pause your television, you see her way in the back. But there's a moment where they actually show Tina, who won season 4, season 2. I was so tempted to say 42. And you see Derek, and Derek is right there, huge next to Tina. For context, Derek is Rachel's husband, who we absolutely adore. how is it that you have all the winners there? You spent so much money getting the winners
Yeah.
there, and you do nothing with it.
Yeah.
That
I
I
was
think
expecting them to
that
see
is a
them in the front
flub.
seat.
That
Yeah,
is the flub that bothers me. The fire thing, I thought was the best part of the finale, honestly.
yeah.
But that flub pisses me off.
Yeah.
How were they not in the front row so that you could see them the whole time? That was shocking.
At least for 50. Like
For 50, yeah, for 50. Right.
Would have been great. Yeah. But we also talked about this earlier. I wish they would have interviewed some of the early outs. What's your
Yes.
opinion on the season? Because they did that little segment with Ozzy and Stephanie, and they were like, yeah, Stephanie was like, yeah, just so many people come up to me and tell me I'm an inspiration and a legend and I'm the best ever to play the game. And and then he was like, yeah, here, Ozzy, here's your t-shirt that I got off Etsy. I was like, what are we doing?
I know. It's weird.
It was weird. It was weird. It seemed a little thrown together, but you know what? I will take this fire flub up for the rest of my life. I think it
Oh, yeah.
made the finale. It's the most interesting thing, other than the car. But we'll get to the car.
Yeah.
We'll get to the car. No, but Rizzo going out was actually really, really inspirational. He talked about his Albanian community. I think Rizzo exceeded expectations this season.
Yes.
Like,
He definitely exceeded my expectation.
I could see him going on many, many shows if it's Survivor, if it's something else. Like, I don't think this is the end of Rizzo
Oh no.
at all.
This is the very beginning, and man, has he done well, right? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and same with the final five. They've all made it very far in their original seasons and season 50. I mean, the statistics prove that, they're game players for sure.
Oh yeah.
We see the loved ones visit. That was a fun segment. Then we get into jury perspectives. Now, it was seeming pretty positive for Aubrey with her strategic alliance, her flexible gameplay. Jonathan, we saw a strong physical game. We talked about the merge votes, but there was also a lot of criticism for Joe, which I understand as a viewer. They said that he broke coach specifically said that he broke his promise of honor and integrity. And how do you feel about honor and integrity being a major aspect in your jury vote? Because we're playing Survivor. Is Survivor honor and integrity, or is it blindsides?
It's gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody cares about honor and integrity unless you've been burned, and then you're the one that cares about it.
Yeah. What do you think, Caroline? What do you think about Coach's whole mantra there?
I agree. And actually, I'm so curious. After watching Sue on Beast Games and just her Beast Games season in general, and then Survivor, what I find fascinating is I actually think honor and integrity matter so much more in Beast Games than it does in Survivor.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think Joe would be phenomenal at that. Coach would be hilarious. But I think honor and integrity was a much bigger thing in early versions of Survivor. But now it almost, if you can use it strategically, yes, but no. I'm someone where I agree. I feel like honor and integrity, if you're going to have that be your only criteria, I think you're on the wrong show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think that honor and integrity comes into big play when you're talking with your final two, right? I think that you should be honorable to your final two. But let's say you make final three with your allies. I think you should obviously stand up for yourself and try to win money. And I think people will understand. But I can see in a way of you blindsiding your ally, that could be a little shitty. And I understand, but we're playing Survivor at the end of the day.
But people love that.
So,
Yeah, people love that.
We're going through people's bags. There's no rules like that. So I'm not loving the honor and integrity thing, and I hope that ends. I hope there's none of that in 51. But
I have a feeling there's not. I mean, I think Joe's a good guy, and I think he's proud of that, but he's far and few between probably. I think people will, be like you're saying, you honor integrity for your alliances, but the other people are out the door.
Hey, and another thing, you just reminded me of talking about Joe's honor and integrity. We never talked about their personal beef with Joe blocking some of the cast on social media. That would have been great to talk about in a reunion.
Yes, it would have.
That
Oh,
would
I
have been
did. I didn't
great.
even know about it.
Oh yeah, there's online beef with some of the cast members. They're not getting along. That would have been great to air out publicly on TV.
Do you remember off the top of your head who it is that he has blocked?
One was Savannah.
Really?
One
Oh.
was Tiffany, I think. There
Mhm.
was probably one more, but I don't remember. But I remember Tiffany and Savannah for sure, which I don't
Wow.
understand.
Random.
I don't understand. But yeah, would have been great. Who knows? And who knows what's gonna go on? You know, we're one day post Survivor 50 season, so who knows? You know?
Matt, you know what I would love? I feel like I agree with you. We should host like a Bravo-esque style
Right?
Survivor reunion. I would love for you to hit up it's Andy Cohen. I'd
Yeah,
love for you to hit up Andy Cohen, have Andy Cohen organize the
literally.
real Survivor 50 reunion,
Yeah.
get everyone back who's ready to spill some tea, and
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
Jeff can be there with Andy, but I want Andy to be asking the questions, you know? Like I think Jeff could like make some crack a few one-liners in there, but I want Andy to get down to it. Like
Yeah, because he will.
He will. He will get down to be like, "So Aubrey, can we talk about you and Genevieve and why you said X, Y, and Z?" Like it would be great.
Yeah, it would be really good. You know, the one thing that I forget, I lost my thought. I'll come back to it. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I had a good one, but now I lost it.
We lost the train. The train is gone.
The train left the
Train
station.
left the station. So we do.
Oh, wait, now I
Oh,
remember.
we're back.
Sorry. Can you imagine the tension between all of them, like sitting in the green room together,
Right?
waiting to come out? If there's all of this animosity and all these issues between them, can you just imagine what that must have been like for all of them for hours, probably sitting together?
And some haven't seen each other probably since they filmed. Or since I mean, I guess they saw each other at the premiere party, but like, I don't think that some
Yeah,
of them keep close contact with one another. Like,
that's
especially
insane.
Ozzy. I heard Ozzy's not talking to certain people. I don't know if you've heard that online. Um,
Who's he
but
not
yeah.
talking to?
Do you know Caroline? I think it was Mike
Um,
White,
I think in general, since I'd say I've not spoken to Ozzy directly, everything I say is hearsay, but I think
allegedly.
it's been fascinating watching his exit interviews. It's very clear. I think he's irritated about certain people. I
Mm-hmm.
think Rizzo is one, for example. So I would not be surprised hearing, based on what's publicly available with exit interviews, I would not be surprised if he and Rizzo are not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was really betrayed by him and the guys, right? Like he thought he didn't even play his idol because he thought he was so good. So I don't,
Yeah.
you get it. We get it,
Yeah.
just
Well, speaking of Ozzy Blindside, I think that we can say that Aubrey really spearheaded that. That's a resume builder, and it's one of the things that got her the win because Aubrey wins eight votes and she wins Survivor 50. She represents the 50th season of Survivor and this franchise that we love. What are our overall thoughts? Because I know, Sue, we talked early in the season when Rachel came on that we weren't the biggest Aubrey fan, especially because she was coming after our girl Genevieve. What do you think of her taking home the 2 million?
I obviously I'm biased. I wasn't thrilled at all. I would have liked anybody but Aubrey,
Mm.
to be honest with you.
Yeah, and you know that's good and that's honest because um, I think a lot of fans agree. I will say I think she did get my heart a little bit this episode. Watching her with her mom was really good. I think
Yeah.
overall, one like a Survivor legend winning 50 makes sense in my mind.
Yeah.
Because
No,
imagine like Joe 150. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, would we be saying the same thing? But
Right.
I think my point stands that the real winner of Survivor 50 are the people that we're going to remember for years after this, like Rizzo, Suri. Um, but yeah, Caroline, what's your opinion?
Absolutely. I'll be honest, I have a lot of thoughts here. Originally, what I was thinking about this, and I think about it just from the context of like only gameplay in Survivor 50 narrowed in from that perspective, how people acted, played, socialized on the game. I am unfulfilled with Aubrey as a winner,
Mm-hmm.
very much so. I think there are things that you can argue that she did well in her game, but then there were also some where I will be honest, I have my strong opinion on the Ozzy thing that yes, Ozzy, she played that information the best she could, which is I'm going to tell everyone the idiotic things that Ozzy told me. My issue with that is I would expect every single person on the Survivor 50 cast to have done the exact same thing. I expect anyone who doesn't have brain damage to do what she did. So
That's
I
true.
have trouble being like that was her big move
Right.
because that was the obvious move. It was the only move.
Yeah.
What I will say, I can get into that a little bit more. I think her biggest move actually was convincing them that Tiffany was a bigger target than her. I think that was the best move. That was brilliant. It won her the game. But I was thinking about it more before this podcast, and I was like, this isn't just any Survivor season. It's Survivor 50. It's the biggest returning season we've ever had. And the true gameplay is, yes, how you played here, but it's also what is like, how is the jury going to think about Survivor 50 and how they select a winner? And people had enough time with the people on the cast, knowing how they played, knowing how they interacted, to know here's where existing relationships lie. Here's who's going to be the representative of Survivor for the next however many years. And I think if you think about it as this is Survivor on expert mode, here's so many other variables you need to think about. I really think Jonathan made a mistake by having Aubrey go to the end. I think a lot of other people did because she had the best meta story of she was a robbed winner 10 years ago. Here's all of her other season arcs. Aubrey did not need to play a good game on Survivor 50 to win. And that was because that's just how Survivor 50 was. And people needed to have clocked that. And I think it's extremely hard to clock, which is why this is so hard. But she was the one of the few players, not few, one of half the players that had good enough story where it didn't matter how they played. If they make it to the end, they have a good shot at winning.
Now,
Caroline.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I just want to ask you, do you think that the jury already had her chosen
Yes.
as the winner?
Well, you know what this is my meta thing. And okay, I will be honest. If I was playing Survivor 50, I don't think I would have clocked this, and I think I would have made the same mistake. So what I say is purely hindsight bias, couch quarterback. Completely. Everyone has clocked how great of a game player Suri is. She maneuvers votes and pushes them in a way that is uncanny. Brilliant. We know this. We should also know that she'd do the same from the jury. You're not on Suri's side. Suri's on the jury.
Yeah.
You are up against a beast. And I think Jonathan did not have a good enough relationship with her in the game, did not establish something where she would be okay with him winning. And I think that was also one of his biggest downfalls.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Well, I was just going to say, can we use your same Aubrey logic on Suri? Do you think that if Suri was in Final 3, they would have said, yeah, let's have the legend represent 50?
100%.
That's what I
she would have
think.
been the first unanimous female winner.
Yeah.
Easily. Which is why
Yeah.
no one wanted her at the end.
Exactly.
At the end. Every single person on this cast, I think, would lose to Suri.
And I think
Regardless of how they played. Regardless
Yeah.
of how Suri played.
And I think production also knew that with giving her the Spirit of Survivor award.
Yes.
I think that it's awesome, though, to see. Obviously, we've seen Suri dominate season 1 of The Traitors, but I think it was so surreal and awesome to see her finally be fully 100% represented and respected by the community live with the finale of a lot of people in the room, standing ovations, Survivor Award. She wins the C Award. Like, I think it's a perfect end to her Survivor story.
It is.
And
no, I was so happy for her.
I was talking to our other podcast friends about this last week. Let's say that there's a world where Jeff wants to retire from Survivor, pass the torch literally on to someone else to host the show. I can see people like Suri, Parvati, Boston Rob coming back, being mentors, helping the new people out. Like, she is a perfect representation of the game through all 50 seasons, I think.
She is. What do you think, Caroline?
Yeah.
She's incredible. Just such a force, such a beast. And I'll be honest, I've spoken this actually previously with Sue, that going into the game, I think I was kind of like, I feel like I've seen Suri play. I don't know what else that's new I could see. And yet watching her again, she far exceeded my expectations. She's just a masterclass.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was worried episode 1 when she couldn't do that challenge and almost went home. But I think that extra vote on Emily was one of her greatest things this season.
Yeah.
It's another thing people are talking about. That, the Rizzo's thing, It's awesome. Cerie's Wizard of Oz. Like, tell me a better alliance name. That is so funny.
Yeah.
It's
It
so good.
it's also fun to see like the youngest player on the cast get with Cerie, the Survivor legend, and then being like friends outside the game is so fun
Yeah.
to see. I love seeing all that. But overall, Aubrey wins, and Jeff gives her that new car. That she. What did you think about the new car? Because I see a lot of people online are clowning on it because she had to walk through that little set that it was parked in with the Survivor 50 logo. I mean, I would have loved a new car.
I would have loved it. I don't know. I feel like they had so many years to do this production and create what they wanted to have, and that was just a little bit strange, right? That she just was running and finding a car. I
It
don't
was
know,
like
just
Price is Right.
yeah, exactly. And I'm
Oh
happy
God.
for her, but what do you think, Caroline? Was it a little bit weird? And then
I would have
she's
loved to
talking
hear
over
Jenna
Jeff.
say anything versus watching 30 seconds of Aubrey getting a car.
Right. After she's got the 2 million.
Oh God. It reminded me of what do you call it? It reminded me of the Applebee's ad earlier in the season and the Zach
Yeah.
Brown stuff. I was like, guys, we know
Yes.
what doesn't work. We know what
Yeah.
doesn't work. But you know what I will say, Sue? I want to shout out your friend Jimmy Beast because his twist was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I love. It's just the coolest thing that he was able. And what about them giving Devins the coin?
Oh yeah.
How cool is that?
Yep. Devin's
It's
another
so
one. A
yeah,
standout
that
from
was
the
cool.
season.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
that
hear
was
the
really
thing
good.
about the coin, Sue and Caroline, about how Jeff was talking about how they were going to do the coin flip and they were worried it was going to get stuck in the tribal council set because they like didn't think about this, the logistics.
No, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, you got to look that up because Jeff was like, wait, what if we do it and we lose the coin and it falls through a crack or it doesn't land on heads or tails and it falls? What do we do? And they were talking to like the lawyers about it. It was like a whole like funny
Oh my
mess.
God.
So funny. So funny to think
Oh my
about.
gosh.
But overall, season 50. Let's start with Caroline. What are your thoughts? What would you like rate the season? What could have done better? Your favorite moment?
Ooh, let's see. Overall, I would say I really loved this season. I think they brought in a spectacular cast. The cast brought it. There were so many great moments. It was not a flawless season, but it's one where I think I feel very satisfied as a Survivor fan, and I'm really happy. And when I think of this as being it's a season where it's the gameplay matters, but the story matters too. It helps me be more at peace with who won and how they won. But overall, I think they did a really good job. I loved some of the new twists that they introduced. I think they did them well, and it gets me excited for what they could be doing in the future. I'll be honest, I saw the trailer for season 50 and I was like, oh my God, we're turning into like an influencer celebrity show. I was worried everything would be like the Zach Brown thing, but I think whether they like to admit it or not, I think the fan feedback was helpful that the Zach Brown thing was butchered and edited horribly. But with that feedback, I'm optimistic for how they're going to continue to do some new fun twists in the future.
Mhm.
So I'm going into season 51 very optimistic. What do you think, Sue?
Yeah, no, I think I haven't been, quiet on the fact that after our season, I lost my spark a little bit. I watched and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't really there. And 50 won me over. I was so excited, so thrilled. Like the other seasons, I feel like I wasn't dying to see next week's episode, where this one I couldn't have it come fast enough. So um just watching all of the icons and how they played with each other, and it was just a beautiful thing to me. And Cerie especially was someone that I really, watching her magic just right in front of our eyes, just blew my mind. Rizzo, he was another standout for me, other than obviously Genevieve. And I was really impressed with Genevieve's game. Just she came out playing, she came out showing who she really is. And this is probably why all the fans love her so much, because when you get to know the real Genevieve, she's an incredible person, and she really, really was a different player this season. So it was really good to, have her out there too. Yeah, I was thrilled. And I actually, watching the trailer for 51, I got actually nervous. I'm just like, oh my God, if I were there, I don't know like, what the heck is going on? It's going to be so fun and exciting to see every single thing that they've ever done thrown into 51 and moving. What are they calling it now? That not the new era, the
Open
Oh,
era.
yeah.
open era. So now they have another name, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to not seeing what they're gonna do because now with all these twists, it's gonna be really cool.
Well,
So
and I have to ask Sue, did you
Yes.
recognize someone in that trailer? Did anyone look familiar to you?
Wait, wait, who was it?
Cece.
Was it
It's
really?
Cece. It's Cece. He's on the season. Matt, have some exciting news for you.
Oh my
okay.
Looks
God,
like the person who was
goosebumps.
our male alternate from our season 47, the person who was with us during like our pregame experience, he is on 51.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. That's so cool. Oh
No,
my
it's
God.
incredible. We're so excited. There's something that is hard to describe about like you feel like you have a kinship with the people who were your alternates, even
Mm.
though you never played
Yes.
with them, never talked to them. You just get so excited to see them finally be on their season. Matt, Sage from 49 was our female alternate. And we were all
Oh,
Yeah.
wondering, like,
Yeah.
when is Cece going to be on? We really hope he's able to be on. He's on this season, so I'm
Oh
excited
my
for him.
goodness. I
that's
did not
awesome.
know. That is so cool. He was
Mhm,
the cutest thing. He was just, oh, I loved him. That's so good.
Well, now
mhm.
you have
Thank you.
that
That's great
connection.
news. Yeah, I'm really excited. I
Now you
can't
have
wait.
to watch. Now you gotta
Yeah.
watch the open era. No, I'm excited because I actually did tell myself that I was only gonna watch 50 and I wasn't gonna move on unless it really interested me. But I do think I'm gonna check out 51. I am
Got the
excited.
bug. I love it.
I'm
Yes.
excited though to see what that means with every twist we've ever done will be incorporated, because obviously every twist can't be incorporated, but what does that mean? Like, are we gonna see boomerang idols? Maybe boomerang idols are gonna stick. Is that, are we, if every twist is gonna come back, does that mean Zach Brown's coming back?
Well, let me tell you, when we went to Fiji, Jeff, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Jeff and Mr. Beast shook hands saying this was the first annual, Survivor Beast Games crossover. So I think Jimmy,
Really?
yeah,
Sue, that is tea.
yeah. So I
Wait,
feel
was
like
that in
they
the
aired that.
episode, or was that when you were like behind the scenes? They said
No,
that.
it was live. It was when
Oh.
we were filming, when we were doing, before we picked who won the island. They said this is our first annual, and they're like, yeah, first annual. And then
Oh,
Jimmy or
that's
somebody
right.
just said, let's shake on it. And so I'm pretty sure they're going to have a coin flip now every year.
Let's do it.
Oh, for
Why
sure. I
not?
don't see why they wouldn't. I think it was the greatest twist they've ever done.
It really was, and it's good for both networks, right? So why not?
But the coin flip should be double the prize pot or you go home.
Right. Well, isn't that what it was for Devon's?
But I want to
Or
see it. I want to see the go home.
yeah.
I want to see the go
that-
home.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Or like, maybe not that, but like double the prize pot, or everyone somehow suffers somehow. Like maybe we take away something.
Oh, you're evil. You're
Yeah.
evil.
You got the survivor bug.
It's the
Yeah,
open
make them all be
era.
in pain.
It's the open era where they're open to anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Open era, open wounds.
Right?
Let's make it happen.
But I do think though, I my hope for the open era is, I think it would be fun, and obviously there's 50 seasons. There's enough Survivor contestants to do some sort of a returnee more often. Whether that's a full returnee season like an All-Stars like 50, or that's, hey, we're picking 3 people and we're going to put them on 52 with some new people. Maybe like second chances, not necessarily All-Stars, but someone maybe who, like a first out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I think that
Yeah.
could be fun.
That could be fun. It would be interesting to see. And
Yeah.
giving people that opportunity, I think is huge, because it is such a disappointment when you are voted out, especially pre-jury, that, like, give them that opportunity again. I think that'd be really cool because they've already been vetted. They're already amazing people.
Yeah.
They're already like TV, Survivor, worthy. So yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, and there's so many, because some shows they do like that, like an All-Star season every year, and it's become a point where can we define the word all-star, or is it just, people coming back? But Survivor has 50 seasons worth of competitors.
Yeah.
Especially people from those early eras who really want to come back. I think that'd be fun. Like I think seeing Jenna was awesome. Seeing Colby was awesome. Like seeing some really
Oh yeah.
OG players was really fun.
Yeah.
So we are excited for 51. Now, before I let you guys go, I want to ask the age-old question that I've been seeing on social media. I saw Jeff answered it the other day. We're going to start with Sue. Who is your Survivor Mount Rushmore? You could pick 4 people who could represent Survivor. Who would it be?
Tony, Sari. Oh boy. I'd have to say Sandra and Parvati.
Mm-hmm. I agree, yeah. What about you, Caroline?
Yeah, I hate that my Survivor Mount Rushmore, I wish it was more original, but unfortunately, I feel like there's just some clear ones. However, okay, I will make a small adjustment. I'll say the winners who I think are on my Survivor Mount Rushmore. It is Parvati, Boston, Rob, and Tony, but I will put Suri there instead of Sandra. I know that Sandra has won twice, Suri has won 0, but there is something about the way that she's able to move and push and maneuver as a strategy that is like what a dream is as a Survivor player. So Suri's up there for me.
Suri won America's heart. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, doesn't it?
That's even more important.
Yeah. But overall, finale was, it was an adventure at the end of the day.
Right.
It wasn't boring. Tell you that.
Oh
no. It wasn't boring. It made headlines, didn't it? But I do want to thank both of you for joining me today for this recap. Thank you, Caroline, for coming on. We'd love to have you back for the future. Maybe if there's another reality show. Are you a Traitors head? Are you into that?
Oh, I love Traitors. Have me on for Traitors. I
would love to have a round table with the 2 of you. It would be awesome.
Oh my God, yes.
Let's do it.
And of course, thank you, Sue, for always shining.
Thanks,
this was awesome. But yeah, Caroline, do you want to shout out your social media? Do you have anything working on? What's going on with you?
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you so much. So yeah, my social media, it's at Caroline Vidmar. You can see the name right there on the Zoom. And I will say nothing in particular that I am working on. It's just overall daily life right now on the Instagram. But I always welcome, feel free to tag along. So thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
Sue, what do we got for you? What's coming up?
So next week I'm flying to Miami to walk in the Miami Fashion Week. So in a swimsuit. So that's really the only exciting thing going on for me, but it's exciting. So it's really fun and I feel blessed and honored that I've been asked to go back and do this again. So it's fun.
If you see any Miami housewives, gotta take a picture with them.
Oh, I will. Absolutely. I'll send it right over to you.
Anyways, thank you everyone for watching this amazing recap, and we will be back next week with more shenanigans and shit talking. That's what we do.
Nice.
That's what we do.